Welcome to Plant-Based Strength. I am your host, Trent Lindsey, a certified holistic health coach and mastering raw food nutrition educator. Thank you very much for being here today. I hope you enjoy the show as it aims to eliminate a lot of the confusion surrounding a plant-based diet and offers up various suggestions for eating a healthy diet as well as maintaining optimal health. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the new Plant-Based Strength show. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm excited to kind of talk a little bit about my story and why I'm starting up this show again. And I hope it just gives you a little bit motivation and inspiration from my story and understand a little bit where I'm coming from and why I've created this show, as well as Team Strength, which is the name of my community where I support others and hopefully inspire them to, live a healthier, more fulfilled life. And to fully understand, I want to take you guys a few years back, almost like 6 years ago now. I was in my early 30s, father of two at the time. And, even though I felt like I was in great shape, looking back on it, I was definitely out of shape at the time. I was probably like 20 or 30 pounds overweight. But like I said, I thought I was in good shape. Like I was eating right. I was following this Mediterranean style diet. And it's something that I learned about from my employer we had a doctor come in and talk to us about this particular style of diet. And one of his phrases that'll always stick with me was, it was in relation to always eating whole foods and nothing processed, was that if what you're eating didn't have a mommy or a daddy, then don't eat it. And that was my introduction to eating a whole foods diet. And that was kind of my perspective, like what I based a lot of my eating decisions off of. And relatively speaking, compared to processed foods and all the junk food that's out there, it was a healthy diet. But it did still include animal products at the time. So I felt like I was doing a really good job. We had some mountains by our house at the time. We've since moved, but we had some mountains by the house that had really nice hiking trails. So we would go hiking every so often. And overall, I felt like I was in pretty good shape. So at the time, I was really proud of myself. I thought I was doing a great job of taking care of my health. And I would imagine at the time, my cholesterol probably was a little bit higher than it should have and stuff like that. But otherwise, I felt really, really good. And in January of 2015, I went and rooted for like somebody that was running a half marathon in Phoenix. They run a half marathon every January, or a marathon, half marathon, whatever distance you want to run. And I was cheering them on, and I was just really inspired by this person being able to run that half marathon. I was like, I can't run a half marathon. Like, there's no way that I can do that right now. And of course, that's something that you have to train for, right? But I was like, maybe I'm not in shape. I started getting a little bit like self-doubt in that regards. And a couple of days later, I was hiking that same hiking trail that I've been doing for a while, and was like, I'm gonna go really fast. Like I was just extra motivated, pumped up, and I went extra fast on this mountain. And it was close to sunset. And right as the sun was starting to go down, it started like raining a little bit. And I was like, I better hurry down this mountain and get back at least to the street before, it starts raining. And rushed down the mountain probably too fast. And my legs started hurting on the way down. And, by the time I got to the street, like it was hard to walk the rest of the way home. And I ended up hurting my IT band. If you're familiar with that, it's a pretty painful, injury to have. Like it's always something that's bothered me even to this day. I really have to take care of myself to not have my IT band like flare up and cause a lot of pain. So I was really bummed out. I ended up hurting my left leg going down this mountain, just basically because I was too pumped up. I was wanting to like prove to myself that I was in shape, and it turns out I wasn't, right? And so I ended up starting like months worth of physical therapy, which was a really great experience. I know how to kind of take care of that particular issue now. As long as I take the time to do it, I know how to. And that process of going through physical therapy was great. But at the time, I was a father of two young kids who wanted to like get down on the floor and play all the time. And my leg was just like always hurting. And it was really just kind of sucked, to be honest with you. I was constantly on the couch feeling depressed, and just my lack of self-worth just started going downhill. It was a tough time just because I wanted to be there for my kids. Like I've always wanted to be the dad that can do things with their kids. Anytime that my body is injured, like it is actually right now at the time of this recording, my back is not 100%, and it makes it hard because I'm not able to pick up my kids and carry them to bed and things like that. So I had that same feeling back then when I hurt my knee, but it was probably one of the first times where I really experienced it for like an extended period of time where I was injured. And just, it felt like I was never get better. I was trying really hard to stretch and get my knee or that IT band issue resolved, and it just never seemed like it was going to end. And I was doing physical therapy for quite a while. We were moving. I think we recently bought a new house, and I was talking to my physical therapist about this way of eating that we did, right? Where everything had to have a mommy or a daddy, and whole foods and natural and all that kind of stuff. And the physical therapist started talking to me about growing my own food out of my backyard, which I'd never thought about doing before. And I was like, maybe that's a cool idea. So I started researching and found somebody in my area who was growing a like 100% edible landscape right here in the Phoenix metropolitan area. And that was pretty cool. So I started watching him and learned a lot about gardening from him. But one of the most impactful videos that he had on my life was a video he posted about the top 10 reasons why he was vegan. And I watched that video, and ever since then, I've been committed to learning more about a plant-based diet. And shortly after watching that video, I talked to my wife and basically said I want to give it a try. So that was in December of 2015, and on January 1st, 2016, we went plant-based. We were going to give it a try for a month, see how we felt. We felt so good that we never turned back, and we've been plant-based ever since. And when we first went plant-based, there was just so many questions that I had, right? And I turned to YouTube at the time and started watching just all kinds of videos from like raw vegan people, plant-based, like celebrities, quote celebrities on YouTube, and just all kinds of people offering their opinions on the matter. But so much of it was contradictory, and it was just really confusing, right? It was tough to understand what was right or what was true, what wasn't, what's opinion, what's a fact, and things like that. And I came across two doctors who were offering up a course for the very first time. It was called Mastering Raw Food Nutrition Educator course. And doctors Rick and Karen Dina, who are been raw vegan for decades, both of them, were putting on this course. And it's a year-long program, like over 100 hours worth of content. And I'm like, you know what? They know what they're talking about. So I'm going to take this course, because when I decide to do something, I want to go all in and I want to learn everything that I can about it. So I took this course. It was a year-long, absolutely fantastic course. I actually keep their books right here on my keyboard, so I like never forget about the information I learned in that course. And it empowered me so much because I was learning so much, and I was trying to share with other people all these facts about nutrition and why it's important to eat whole foods and raw foods, plant-based in general. And like nobody cared. Nobody cared at all, because it's just so against society's norms that nobody was really open-minded enough to listen. And I'm like, wanted to try to educate people I didn't know too. So I started up a blog, which never really got that much traction. So I was kind of upset about that, right? Like I was really bummed out. Blog wasn't working out. People weren't listening to me at all. And I was really focusing on the nutrition, which just really isn't that much of like a sexy thing to learn about, is nutrition, right? It's more nerdy, a lot of data driven, which I really draw to it, but not everybody does. So I felt kind of defeated after that point and didn't do the blog for a little while. And then I learned about podcasting, and I was like, maybe my voice can inspire people as opposed to typing about it. I feel like I can express myself more that way. So I decided to give podcasting a try. And that was just in 2019 where I launched my first podcast. It was called the Plant-Based Diet Benefits Podcast. And Shortly after that, my youngest son, Wyatt, was born at the end of April 2019. And pretty much the day before he was born, I ended up hurting my elbow golfing, right? And long story short on that one, I ended up having to have surgery on my elbow and was pretty much out of commission, just like I was with my knee, but even worse, like far worse. And out of commission in terms of, being able to help take care of Wyatt. Like I wasn't able to hold him and take care of him at night and do the fatherly things that, dads like to do when their kids are so young. And I really missed out on so much of that. But at the time, I made a commitment to continuing my health journey, and I signed up to go to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition because I had a lot of experience, right, with the nutrition side of things. But the Institute for Integrative Nutrition is really good at teaching you the mental aspects of health and all the different factors that weigh into your overall holistic health. And I wanted to learn as much as I could about that because they also had business components to it too. So they can help, teach you how to market your services as a health coach, which was appealing to me as well. So I signed up for that in July of 2019. I had surgery shortly after that on my elbow and tried to continue on with the podcast as well. And went through that year-long course and didn't really try to put in too much effort from a health perspective, like health coaching perspective, because I was overcoming my injury on my elbow. I wasn't really able to do a whole lot at the computer. Like it was just really hard to even just move the mouse around to get through my day job. So didn't do a whole lot. But one of the greatest things that's happened to me in recent history is signing up to be a coach for Beachbody, which I did in like June of 2020. So only a few short months ago. And it was right as I was graduating from the Institute for Integrated Nutrition. And honestly, the reason why I decided to do it was because I thought it would help myself stay accountable more than anything else. So I always lacked the physical, like fitness routines in order to stay healthy. I thought I was doing a pretty good job on like meditating, and like the mental side of my temper has gotten so much better. My stress management, I feel like I've gotten a better control of. My diet was really good, or as good as it can be. And I was just really missing the fitness side. And I'm like, you know what, if I sign up to be a Beachbody coach, one of the things that you do as a Beachbody coach is you do the exercises, right? Like it's part of the job. So I signed up to be a Beachbody coach mainly for my own personal benefit, and have been loving it ever since. And I'll continue to do it because of the fact that it keeps me active. I've been more active since I've been a Beachbody coach than I have been in many, many years, which is super exciting for me, especially if you're somebody like myself, where you basically lost the use of your arm for a period of months, right? Like when something like that happens to you, you realize how awesome it is just to have the full use of your arm. That the fact that I can do bicep curls or do push-ups is awesome because I couldn't do that a year ago. So I'm committed to doing it. And as a father now of 4 kids, I find it to be incredibly important to take care of my own health so that way I'm here for the long term for my kids and grandkids. And if I'm blessed enough to have great grandkids one day, that would be absolutely fantastic as well. So I want to be here as long as possible. And that's why I've started up this Beachbody coach experience, or this job of mine, and created the community for you all to join me. My community is called Team Strength. And right now it's a small community, which is absolutely fantastic because that means I get to spend a little bit more time per person. But I hope that you all consider joining me on this journey, especially if you are a busy parent just like I am. I know exactly how you feel in terms of trying to incorporate fitness and healthy eating and mindfulness and different factors that weigh into your overall health. Stress management is another key one, in my opinion. If you are interested in learning more about becoming healthier overall, regardless of those different factors that are maybe a weakness for you, then please do reach out. Head on over to pbstrength.com to learn more and see what offers I have there in terms of getting just simply meal plans or fitness routines. Or if you'd like to learn more about like one-on-one coaching or anything like that, then I'll have offers for that on the website as well. So wanted to give you guys a little bit of where I've come from over the last handful of years, why I've started up this journey as a Beachbody coach, because you only live once, and I want to be there for my kids. And, I'm hoping that a lot of you guys feel the same way. So if you're inspired by that message, then tune in for more episodes of this show, either on your favorite podcast player or on YouTube as well. Of course, you can follow me on social media, which I'll include all those links down in the description of this video. So with that, I'm going to end this episode, guys. Thank you very much for listening today, and you all have a great day. Thank you for joining us on Plant-Based Strength today. I appreciate you listening, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to learn more about what we offer at PB Strength, then head on over to www.pbstrength.com to learn more. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.